In life, we are constantly faced with choices. Some are small, like what to eat for breakfast. Others are big, like what career to pursue. But the biggest choice we will ever make is whether or not we will follow Jesus. This choice has eternal consequences. Jesus said, "Whoever acknowledges me before others, the Son of Man will also acknowledge before the angels of God." When we choose to follow Jesus, we are making a public declaration that we believe in him and that we want to live our lives for him. This choice is not always easy. There will be times when we are tempted to deny Jesus, especially when we are facing difficult situations. But we must remember that Jesus is always with us, and he will give us the strength to overcome any obstacle. When we acknowledge Christ, we are not simply saying that we believe in him. We are making a public declaration of our faith. We are telling the world that we belong to him. This is a powerful act that can have a ripple effect on those around us. Imagine a world where everyone was afraid to admit they believed in Jesus. What would happen to the message of hope and love that he brought to us? It would surely fade away. That's why it's so important to be open about our faith. When we are open about our faith, we give others permission to do the same. We create a space where people can come together and share their beliefs without fear of judgment. This can lead to greater understanding, compassion, and love. Our words have power. They can build up or tear down. They can encourage or discourage. When we use our words to acknowledge Christ, we are using our power for good. We are spreading his message of hope and love to the world. Think about a time when someone said something kind to you. Did it make you feel better? Did it give you hope? Now imagine someone sharing words of faith and hope with you. That's the power our words can have when we use them to talk about Jesus. We may not always see the impact of our words, but we can be sure that they are making a difference. Every time we speak up for Jesus, we are planting a seed of faith in someone's heart. The consequences of denial. Just as there are consequences for acknowledging Christ, there are also consequences for denying him. Jesus said, "But whoever disowns me before others will be disowned before the angels of God." Luke 12, verse 9. When we deny Jesus, we are rejecting his love and sacrifice for us. Denying Jesus doesn't mean just saying, "I don't believe." Sometimes it means staying silent when we should speak up for him. It can also mean living our lives as if he doesn't matter. This does not mean that we are doomed to hell if we ever deny Jesus out of fear or weakness. God is merciful and he knows our hearts. However, we should never take his grace for granted. We must strive to live our lives in a way that honors him. Standing firm in faith. Standing firm in our faith is not always easy. Standing firm in our faith is not always easy. We will face challenges and temptations. There will be times when we want to give up, but we must remember that God is always with us. He will never leave us nor forsake us. Think of the strongest person you know. Even they need help sometimes, right? It's the same with our faith. We need to rely on God to give us strength, especially when things get tough. When we put our trust in God, he will give us the strength to overcome any obstacle. He will give us the courage to stand up for what we believe in, even when it's difficult. And he will give us the peace that surpasses all understanding. The eternal significance. The choice we make about Jesus is the most important choice we will ever make. It has eternal consequences. When we choose to follow Jesus, we are choosing eternal life with him. When we deny him, we are choosing eternal separation from him. Imagine the most beautiful place you can think of. Now imagine a place of sadness and darkness. That's the difference between choosing to follow Jesus and turning away from him. The Bible tells us that one day, every knee will bow and every tongue confess that Jesus Christ is Lord. Philippians 2, verses 10 to 11. We will all stand before God and be judged according to our deeds. On that day, let us be found faithful.